Namaste everybody. Me and Advika will be presenting to you today. Before we learn about our Mahapurush, we will first learn about the Ahom Dynasty from which he hailed. So many dynasties have ruled in India. Nand dynasty, ended by Chandragupta, who established the Mauryan dynasty, which was in turn ended by Shung. The Gupta dynasty ended through disintegration. Their average reign lasted 200 to 300 years. However, the Ahom kingdom ruled in India for 598 years between 1228 to 1826. During its near 600-year reign, the Ahom dynasty resisted 17 attacks from the Mughals and even denied British entry until the signing of the Treaty of Yandabo in 1826. In present-day India, there is a state of Assam. This was the home of the Ahom kingdom. Found by Thai Prince Chaulung Sukapa, who set off to explore the Brahmaputra Valley in 1228. After some time, he took Charadio, near present-day Sibsagar town, as his capital and established the Ahom kingdom. He laid the foundation for present-day Assamese tradition, art, and culture. Some Ahom leaders, like Suhumung, brought peace and prosperity by forming alliances with neighboring kingdoms. Others, like Rudrasimha, contributed to the administrative, cultural, and architectural prowess of Ahom. The Ahom dynasty was not ruled in an autocratic fashion. There was an inclusive government, the king and his 5 ministers. These ministers had the power to remove the king if he neglected his duties. Ahom society was divided into clans, or kales. The Ahoms worshipped their own tribal gods. However, during the 17th century, Brahmins asserted heavy influence, giving rise to Hinduism and making it the predominant religion. Noticeably, the kings did not forsake all aspects of their traditional beliefs, but mixed them together. The Ahom society was extremely sophisticated, promoting poets, scholars, and theatre. But how did this dynasty survive for so long? This is because of their culture of respect and tolerance. In regions they acquired, the Ahoms never tried to destroy an existing culture or convert locals to their practices. Rather, they assimilated with them. The original Thai language, Hindu religion, Ahom rituals, and dress gradually became a mix. Through this, the Ahoms made their culture richer. They also built many buildings of immense architectural precision, most of which were temples. Some inscriptions found upon these temple walls are shown on screen. Rangkar is one of their constructions which still stands today. It was a venue for sports and is believed to be one of the oldest surviving amphitheatres in Asia. Even queens played important roles within the state. The ruling monarch were honored on coins, with the king and queen's names seen on either side. However, the kingdom also cultivated many brave fighters. One such historical figure is Lachit Borphukan, the unsung hero of the Ahom dynasty. Lachit Borphukan, born Lachit Decha in the early 17th century in Assam, was the son of Mamai Tamuri Borburawa, who was the governor of the Ahom kingdom and also commander-in-chief of the Ahom army. From an early age, he was educated in humanities, scriptures, and military tactics. His first role within the kingdom was of scarf-bearer, a part of King Jayadhwaj Singh's personal staff. Due to his military training, he soon climbed the ranks, becoming the superintendent of royal horses. Then, he became commander of Simulka Fort, situated at the south bank of Brahmaputra. With the next king, Chakradhaj Singh, Lachit became commander of royal guards. Let's move on to his story.
Legend of Lachit Borphukan. In 1665, the Ahom king asked, "Who will be our Borphukan?" Borphukan was the title given to the chief of the army. After much discussion, Lachit was selected to command the Ahom army. The army of Ahom was very organized, so no one could defeat them. Then, in 1658, Aurangzeb became the Mughal emperor. He sent his trusted generals to expand their empire. At this time, the Ahom kingdom was weak, so they were easily defeated by the Mughals. Ahom king Jayadhwaj Singh had to retreat and lost a large part of territory, which included Kawati, in this fight. The king had to agree to a humiliating treaty. He could not take this defeat and died soon after. Meanwhile, after becoming Borphukan, Lachit's duties increased. On one hand, the huge united Mughal army with experienced generals attacked the Ahom kingdom, and on the other hand, Ahom's army became dejected and divided. Lachit spent the next 4 years organizing the army and weapons, building boats, upgrading weapons, acquiring cannons, and strengthening forts. He ensured the Mughals had no idea about these preparations by presenting a friendly side towards them. In 1667, the head of Guwahati fort was changed to Firoz Khan, who was very greedy. Angered by the new commander's behavior, the Ahom army were motivated to take back their lost land. Lachit had a good navy and a network of spies, but lacked cavalry. Even after months of siege, Guwahati could not be freed. They then turned to Plan B, to enter the palace at night. They infiltrated the palace and put water in the Mughals' cannons. In the morning, Lachit attacked and won. When Aurangzeb found out, he was very angry, so sent another experienced general, Ram Singh, with an army of 70,000 soldiers to attack the Ahom kingdom. Without wasting a moment, Lachit started preparing for the invasion. During this period, he caught his uncle sleeping during guard duty and immediately beheaded him, saying, "My uncle is not bigger than my country." This is his most famous quote, still remembered today. This act won Lachit admiration from his soldiers. They became convinced that beating the Mughals was not impossible. Lachit's plan was to use guerrilla warfare, and Ram Singh was forced to retreat. Unwilling to give up, he made another plan. He bribed some members of the Ahom army to switch sides, then tried to force the Ahoms into open warfare. Lachit knew they did not have a chance in open warfare because they lacked cavalry for attack, but the Ahom king was impatient and ordered a frontal attack. In this field attack of Alaboy, the Ahom army lost badly. Lachit lost 10,000 soldiers, but fortunately he survived, and so did the kingdom. In 1671, Ram Singh was informed about some breaches in Ahom's defense, and decided to launch a final attack. He set up a large Mughal navy to attack, filled with 40 cannons and other weapons. This led to the Battle of Saraikat.
Saraikat Battle, Lachit Borphukan's final fight. This was the final battle between Ram Singh and Lachit Borphukan. Starting in March 1671, this is the most unique battle of Indian history, as it was fought completely on water, upon the mighty Brahmaputra river. During this time, Lachit Borphukan was so ill that he was bedridden and unable to fight. At first, the Ahoms were beaten back by the Mughals, and defeat looked near. But when Lachit came to know of this at his house, he went to fight, defying his doctors' and astrologers' advice. The Mughals put to use all their weapons and years of preparations, but Lachit used modern techniques to fight back, such as water forts, which is a fort on water, and boats used as fortifications, a wall. Although the Ahom's boats were a lot smaller, they could move faster and were more dangerous. The Mughals became completely surrounded by the Ahoms. During intense combat, the Mughal admiral was killed, leaving their army in disarray. By the end of the day, the Mughals had lost 3 chiefs and 4,000 soldiers. They were defeated. The Ahom kingdom had won. Unfortunately, Lachit Borphukan died after the war from his illness. After his death, Ram Singh presented a glowing tribute. Glory to the commander. One single individual leads all the forces. Even I, Ram Singh, was not able to find any loophole and an opportunity in his game plan to outdo him. Such was the mark of this fierce man. Moral. This victory enabled future kings to develop many socio-cultural developments, such as education and temples. If Mughals had won, then there would have been genocide and destruction, but the bravery, courage, and smartness of people like Lachit Borphukan did not let this happen. In 1682, there was a final battle between Mughals and Ahoms, wherein the Mughals were defeated for good. Every year in Assam, Lachit Borphukan is celebrated on the 24th of November. However, his story is only known there. Why do we not know Lachit Borphukan's story? Why have we allowed this tale to be buried in the dust, when without such fighters our identity may have never existed? There must be a change. Nevertheless, From these figures of history, we should learn to persevere and remain calm and collected in moments of adversity. We must embrace others' opinions and ideas and aim to grow together as one. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.